Jada Pinkett Smith on her Red Table series talked about the two different types of love. She said that most people, when they think of love, they think of red. Our hearts are red. Mm-hmm. Anything aesthetically connected to love is red. It's fire. It's exciting. But true love is blue. It's steady. Cool. It's calm. Mm-hmm. And they always say when you meet your soulmate, your heart's not going to be beating 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's going to be calm because you've met the person. So, but most people get stuck on the red.
Yeah. What is your favorite and least favorite thing about Dad? Whoa!
My favorite thing about Dad is his resilience against all of the trials and tribulations he's been through in his entire life, but mostly when he arrived to America, and how he keeps charging forward regardless with a positive spirit, at least outwardly.
And your least favorite thing?
The least favorite thing about Dad is he is unaware when he is not behaving according to societal norms. It's based on context in his environment.
Okay. My favorite thing about Dad
yes.
Is his spontaneity, and like his impulsiveness, and we'll just like do things, and so that's fun. Like one time it was July 4th and he wanted to go to Canada the next day, and so we did that weekend. And then my least favorite thing about him is his flakiness.
No. Which is tied to spontaneity.
Oh no, it is! Do you think about him and the family a lot when you're looking for your potential husband?
It's the 90% of what I think about.
That's really high.
Yes, I think it's higher than average.
Yes, I think it's higher than average. Because you're 32 now. Dad's like, oh, you're almost 32. You're turning 32 in December. Dad's like semi-giving up on you already. But you're still like hanging in there. I still believe in you.
Meghan Markle.
Markle?
Oh,
okay.
Founded Prince Harry when she was 36 and divorced. And got pregnant when she was 37.
Yes, she's beautiful. That wasn't meant to mean anything on you. That was just a reflection on her.
Okay.
What did you think when you first met? Like, what was your... What do you think Dad would have thought about him?
I think Dad would have related to his showmanship. He takes control of a room. He's very confident. Mm-hmm. I think it was mutual electricity on both sides. Yeah. It was the first time I felt physical electricity going back and forth.
Yeah. But like looking back on it, you said like you feel like he didn't see you though, like as a person.
Looking back on the actual conversation we had, it was very superficial. It was, what shows do you watch? What do you like to do in New York? What do you like to do in LA? Where do you live in LA? And it was all very surface level conversations. Me being a firstborn, the first thing I always think of is how does my family look? How do I look externally to society?
Interesting.
Are we operating within societal norms? Are we behaving as we should? Mm-hmm. And a lot of that becomes an outward thing, right?
Because your expression is more outward.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense then.
So a big problem that I have is if I bring someone into a social context, whether it's work, so family, friends, and they don't adapt immediately, I have little patience for that. A Joaquin, I can drop anywhere next to me, and we are aligned socially.
Interesting. I guess like my interpretation of that would be I would be more forgiving with a partner.
Because we all you guys process alone and internally.
Maybe that, or maybe just I'm more forgiving in like social situations. Because like I'm probably not the best in social situations. Like I don't like being in groups more than 3. Like I just don't talk anymore. And so in those sorts of contexts, like you know, being more forgiving for another person and like helping them out. But internally, like as long as we're on a similar page, that's kind of what matters most for me. So.
Got it. I expect external and internal, and that's where Joaquin failed me. Because first date was external, all external, and it was great, checked off everything, and then when I tried to dig a little bit internal, it was concrete wall.
I think for everybody it's about finding that mix of like external and internal, of how like if a person's processing things internally and how they show it externally matches how you do it, and that's kind of your telltale. So when did you like realize he wasn't doing it? Like you tried having like deeper conversations with him and that wasn't working.
I realized our conversation stayed in stage 1, which was utter happiness for me during date 1. But when I tried to move to the next block, on the Monopoly board, if you will, he was still at that previous block. Whether it's about his brother, his nieces and nephews, his parents.
Because family's like very important.
Exactly.
To you. Yeah.
Exactly. It was very short answers, and there was very little. I mean, looking back at it now, I know what it is. There was zero emotional availability.
Oh, okay. And so that discovery occurred fairly early on, right?
Well, yes, but
You kept trying.
excusing it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I kept thinking about the high I felt on our date. And my coworker said I came back from New York the next day into the office and I hadn't gotten off of cloud 9 yet. She said you were floating off the floor to your desk.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe if you feel that at any point of meeting someone, it sustains. It's not, you don't retract it.
Yeah.
I feel like if at any point you feel ready and say I love this person, you still feel that way in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years.
I think that's true.
Yeah. What happened with River? Oh, you were on cloud 9 too.
Yeah, for a little bit. And just going back to your point of I felt like very attracted to him, and after a while, after a really long time, started to notice that we weren't quite on the same page of certain things.
Which things?
I think we had some different ways of processing things internally and externally, like we mentioned. I think I do more internal than he does, and he has more of an external persona, which I do think I am attracted to and drawn towards. But there were just some things where I would say things and he just wouldn't get them. And I started noticing that more later on. But then, to your point, yeah, that is right. It's been 5-6 years, and there'll be times where I haven't seen him in a really long time. But then I'm with him, and then it's very quickly oh yeah, now I remember why I liked you so much. Now looking back on it, because he and I went back and forth for a little bit on the relationship timeline. Just looking back on it now, being a little bit older, feeling more I understand my needs better and what I need, and being able to express that better. And so that if you and I ever have that conversation, I feel more comfortable bringing those things up. But
because what I was doing was finding my needs met through other partners, but the fire wasn't there. And so at one point I had to ask myself, what is more important, the fire or the basic needs in a relationship? And I went back and forth. I'd rotate going back to Joaquin, then I'd go back to steady partners who were meeting my needs, but had zero fire.
Yeah.
And I did that for 2 years after I met him.
Yeah.
And nobody has matched his fire thus far. So I want to go back to when you said now if you were to have a conversation with River today, you would be able to express your needs better, having had more time to reflect on it and have grown. I think the same way. However, Joaquin is a person that I've made conscious decisions in my mind whether I have to give up those needs in order to have him.
Oh my gosh. Don't give them up. I don't think you should give them up.
But I've had those thoughts multiple times. I'm like, if I want Joaquin in my life, I know that these are areas he isn't there yet. And maybe through therapy he will get there, but he's not there now. So do I give up his presence altogether in order to find those needs in someone else? Or do I wipe those needs away and say, whatever it takes to have me in my life?
Well, I think there's something to be said, right? Sacrificing for another person and like making, those sorts of sacrifices. But like, I mean, I think at the core, you can't give up like what you need as a person from a relationship. And I feel like if you try to, then it's just not going to work, right? You're going to be unhappy.